Smile Room Host, Part 1. It's very rare for anomalous creatures to communicate effectively with humans. It's even rarer still that they should contact the agency directly. Both are the case for the host of the Smile Room. The agency wasn't even aware that the room was intelligent in the first place. Maybe we should have figured it out. How else could something make escape room puzzles and produce English words and phrases, as well as pictures, on its own guts? It was in the aftermath of the giant incident. The Smile Room became infected by one of the parasites released by the giant when it died. This caused the Smile Room to mutate into a much more dangerous threat. The mutation caused the Smile Room to change its hunting methods, actively trapping as many people as possible in its stomach. Its puzzles went from merely difficult to nigh on impossible, and it eventually went so far as to eliminate the exit and conceal the passages that lead back to the entrance. It also gained the ability to disguise its entrance so that it resembled normal doors. The agents assigned to the Smile Room team were forced to take extreme action. They turned the hunt for the Smile Room into a competition, posting a cash prize on social media for whoever could locate the elusive escape room but not enter it. Once the happy winner had departed with cash in hand, they hosed it down with flamethrowers until it could no longer sustain its form, and was then forced to respawn in another location. The new tactic was a success and let the agents rapidly locate and dispatch the entrance several times before the Smile Room stopped spawning its entrance, or spawned it at a location that wasn't accessible to humans. Because the room is not a room but an organic creature, it can be assumed that the Smile Room had to stop until it had recovered from the damage inflicted upon it. Because all of this occurred in the aftermath of the giant incident, there was no shortage of work for the agency. So when the room failed to manifest in the public eye, its priority level was lowered to free up resources for other catastrophes. There was no inkling that the Smile Room was aware and actively seeking the agency, until one day the entrance manifested in an agency base. Due to the nature of the recent incidents, the policy was to grab a flamethrower and burn the entrance as soon as it made itself known. A security team was gearing up to do just that when the door cracked open and a deep, rasping voice begged them not to hurt it. That paused the follow-through, but the team kept their fingers on the trigger, waiting for the order to fire. A senior agent was contacted and, on arrival, he shouted a single question: "Are you human?" A beat passed, and then the voice responded that no, it was not human, but to please give it time to explain. The door swung all the way open, and the senior agent had to quickly bark an order to keep the men from firing at what was revealed. It had the shape of a human, but it looked as though it had been moulded from flesh, muscle fibre and sinew, rather than grown naturally. From the crown of its head to the bottom of its foot, a large, vertical mouth opened and closed whenever the creature spoke. The thing had no eyes, but its mannerisms made it clear that it could see everything around it. Seeing this, the senior agent considered reversing his decision and allowing the team to burn the entrance of the Smile Room one more time. He didn't really want to deal with all of this, but policy dictates action. And when something is trying to communicate with the agency asking for help, you lower the flamethrowers. Well, you lower them a bit. Asking the creature what it wanted, the senior agent warned it to be very precise in its answer. The creature introduced itself as the host of the Smile Room. It didn't exist until very recently, but something had gotten into the Smile Room. Something that forced its way all the way to the Smile Room's inner core and took it over, forcing the room to act atypically and gorge itself as much as possible. The parasite was taking all the nutrients for itself and starving the Smile Room to the point of death. So the room, being aware of the danger to itself and acting out of sheer desperation, formed the host and went to the only people it knew of who could stop it: the agency. Host then asked them to go inside and remove the parasite before it killed the Smile Room. The senior agent wasn't amused. He was familiar with the Smile Room's file and knew that the monster had a body count of its own. He remarked to the Smile Room that it sounded like a good thing for the Smile Room to die, since that would prevent it from eating humans. The host hesitated and agreed that yes, the room had killed people, but it also pointed out that the parasite was getting ready to spawn. It had laid a clutch of eggs, and if the smile room died, the parasite could fully take over the body and lay its eggs everywhere the smile room could teleport. At least, the host argued, the smile room had given people an opportunity to escape by solving the puzzles and making their way out. As things stood now, the parasite had turned a game of chance, albeit a deadly one, into a lethal predator. The parasite needed to be taken out or killed. As if to illustrate the host's point, its whole body suddenly rippled and changed in an instant. Red flesh turning purple, and the teeth of the body becoming sharp and pointed, before returning to their original flat shape. With a struggle, it seemed, the host regained its normal appearance. It seemed as though the transformation had been very painful. It stressed that even now, the parasite was trying to take control of the host to make use of its ability to communicate. Addressing the senior agent, it made the request once again, as cracks formed in the wall the smile room had manifested in. "Will you help?" The senior agent considered. The thought of ordering his agents to use the flamethrowers trained on the host was a tempting one. They were still scrambling in the aftermath of the Giants' attack. They couldn't afford to spare the number of people needed to purge the smile room. But the host also had a point. A teleporting, mutating parasite is of no good to anyone. It was a tough decision. Save the smile room or kill the host. Making up his mind, he spoke. To be continued in Part 2.